First and foremost, I must mention that my mother and I are both Caucasian, but my stepfather is Latino, so my younger sister is half Caucasian, half Latino. Because of this, I learned Spanish growing up. When I was a young teenager, only about 12 or 13 or so, I can't remember exactly, my sister was 7 at the time. She was invited to a classmate's birthday party, and this classmate was also Latino. This will be important later. My parents asked that I walk her to the party and stay with her till it was over. The party was literally 4 doors down from our house, so it really wasn't that far, so I agree without much complaint. Besides, it was free cake. As my sister interacted with her classmates, I sat back near some of the older kids, minding my own business, when I heard a group of guys off to the side say my sister's name in Spanish. This caught my attention, as I didn't recognize them, and I started eavesdropping. This group of guys were probably in their mid-20s or so, and I found it odd that they knew my sister's name, and that I was even her sister, as we hadn't really been together for much of the party, and again, I didn't recognize them. They were, still in Spanish, talking about my hair, my skin color and such, and then one of them said, in Spanish,
"Man, I bet her pussy is great."
And the others laughed and nodded and pretty much thought it was funny. I grabbed my sister from the party and immediately left. As I passed the group of guys as we left through the back gate, I muttered, "You're disgusting," in Spanish as I passed them. And at first, they seemed surprised before the one who made the comment started leering at me. As soon as we got home, I told my stepfather what happened, and he took me back to the party and asked me to point them out. As I did, they spotted me and my stepfather, who is a very large and imposing man, by the way, and they bolted. When we asked the host of the party if they knew who they were, no one seemed to know. Everyone just had assumed that they were friends with the eldest son, who was 20 at the time. But he admitted that he didn't know them. That's probably the creepiest part. Not only did they know who me and my sister were, but they showed up to a little girl's birthday party, and no one noticed something was amiss or even knew who they were. Okay, so let me start off by saying that I'm a female college student. My school is known for being a big party school, but I'm not into that. I have never been, even in high school. I never saw the point in it all, but after my last party, I have even more reason not to be. It was my first semester of freshman year. I'm a chemistry major, and I met a lot of friends through various labs and lectures. There have also been a fair share of creeps. I'm not really used to being the center of anyone's attention, as I never have been before, and I really don't see a reason why I should be. I like having only a few friends and keeping my circle close. I liked being myself in the background, but still, new state, new rules, and there were creeps. Anyway, one such creep was named Tom. He was in my chemistry lecture, and from day one, he just seemed to fixate on me. At first, I would catch him staring at me when I looked over my shoulder at the clock. He always made sure he sat behind me. I would smile and politely turn back around, slightly creeped out, but nothing super bad. Then, after a couple of weeks, he got up the nerve to talk to me. I was raised to never be rude or just ignore people talking to me, so I played nice, even though I wasn't interested. I don't know why I was so against him at first. He seemed nice enough when he talked, but something in my gut told me it was off. Anyway, I started seeing him everywhere, even when I knew he was supposed to be in his class. I tried everything for him to get the hint. I tried avoiding him, moving seats in lectures, shutting down his attempted conversations. Unfortunately, I'm not a very confrontational person, and I couldn't find a way to just tell him to leave me alone. And he didn't seem to get the hint. My friends would always tease me that I had a secret admirer, and I would laugh along, but it unnerved me. He just started inserting himself into my life, and I didn't know what to do. One time after Thanksgiving break, I was studying outside at a picnic table, and lo and behold, Tom shows up. He just starts asking me how my break was, how my family was, and if I was happy to be back. And then he asked how Bruno and Riley were. Bruno and Riley are my dogs, and while I love to show them off, I knew for a fact that I have never talked about them with him or showed him any pictures. The rational part of my mind reminded me that Riley was the lock screen on my phone, so he could have at least seen her when I checked a time or something, and Bruno was my wallpaper, so he might have seen him at some point. But how did he know their names? When I asked him, he got nervous and tried to convince me that I had told him, but when I insisted that I didn't, he made some excuse and walked off. I should have done something then, maybe talk to security or something, but I didn't. I regret to say I didn't want to. I thought I could handle it myself. I have never been good at asking for help. So fast forward a little, Tom started to get more weird. He kept asking me for my number, asking me out, trying to get me to invite him back to my dorm. He got really aggressive. Eventually, I got to the point where my instinctual, well-learned manners went out the window, and I flat out told him, directly yet gently, as I'm not in the habit of hurting people's feelings, that I was not interested in having a relationship with him or anyone right now. He got angry and yelled at me for leading him on, calling me names like slut and bitch and whore, and then just stormed off. He started texting me nonstop, telling me how much he hated me and how I deserved to die. I still don't know how he got my number. I know what you're thinking. Now, she must have gone to the police or security or something, right? Nope. I was an idiot. I'm not a very confident person as it is, and some tiny part of me felt guilty, like I actually led him on. I didn't even tell anyone about the text. I just deleted them all, convinced myself that if I just ignored him long enough, he'd eventually give up and go away. I was a stupid, naive little 18-year-old, and I just let it happen. Okay, so fast forward about a month or so. It's near the end of the semester, close for us to head home for the winter break. My friend Anna had just broken up with her boyfriend, and she and my other friend Tori wanted to go drink to take her mind off things. Tori and Anna are both very petite girls, and naturally are incredible lightweights. They've been known to make some terrible choices after just a few beers. So they asked me to come with them to keep an eye on them. I agreed, and I brought my own water bottle with me, so I wouldn't have to drink anything there. Even the water at these parties made me suspicious. The three of us went to the party, and while Tori and Anna went and got to drinking, I just sat on the couch in the corner and kept an eye on them, taking sips from my water. We'd been there for about 3 hours, and then someone sat down beside me. I look over, and you guessed it, there's Tom. He seems totally hammered already, and starts talking to me, telling me almost incoherently how sorry he is, how much he misses me, and how he overreacted, how he wishes he could take it all back, and asking if we could hang out later. I refused and told him to leave me alone, but still, he persisted. After another 10 minutes, I saw Anna across the room stumbling drunk, about to walk off with some guy. I got up from the couch after telling Tom yet again to leave me alone, and went over to Anna. I separated her from her new friend, who was clearly not as drunk as her and clearly wanted to take advantage of her. I got her and Tori back together and tried to tell them that we should leave, but they begged me to let them stay just a little bit longer, just so they could dance some more. And there's really no arguing with those two when they're drunk, so I just let them. I went back to the couch and Tom was gone. Please note that most of the rest of this story I only pieced together after the fact, as some of my memories are vague at best, and most are just missing altogether. I must have left my water bottle on the couch when I went to save Anna. After I took a few more drinks, I started to feel weird. I was super dizzy and shaky. So I decided it was time to go home. I grabbed Anna and Tori and we left, taking the bus back to the dorm, or at least we must have. When I woke up, I was in my bed, still in my clothes from the night before, and I had the worst headache. I couldn't remember anything at all after I started to feel weird. My roommate told me that I came home around 2 and stumbled into bed and passed out, mumbling something about not feeling well. She was surprised, as she knew that I didn't drink, but just figured that I decided to let go a little and had a little too much. I started to realize what happened. Tom must have drugged my water. I felt sick. I knew Tom was a weirdo, but I never thought he would be quite so driven. It sent shivers down my spine to think about what he planned to do. As if to confirm my suspicions, when I checked my phone, I saw I had a new text from Tom. It said,
"Why did you leave so early last night? I had such a night planned for you."
I didn't go out much after that, not just to parties, but to class either. I told my friends and professors that I was sick and got the last week's notes from them. After the finals and break, I came back and found out that while Tom was stalking me, he was neglecting his classes, and as a result, he had flunked out. I haven't seen him since, but still, I haven't gone to a party since then. So Tom, you're one sick bastard. Let's never meet again. Since numerous people have asked, yes, I did eventually go to the police. I waited a little while just to make sure he wasn't on campus anymore. At my school, once you finish your last final, you have to be gone within 24 hours. And I didn't want to keep looking over my shoulder while trying to pass my classes. I'm not sure what, if anything, came of it, and I'm fairly certain that I didn't give them enough to go on, but it's a footnote somewhere. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please share, like, and comment, and become part of the unity by hitting the subscribe button. If you have a scary story that you would like to share, be sure to send it to my email or post it on the free horror stories subreddit. Consider donating to this channel and be sure to follow me on Twitter. And until next time, stay spooky and never forget, there's always a reason to be afraid.